Welcome to episode 55 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to just take our problems and we stitch them to other problems until we make some sort of human centiproblem, human problempede. Like we make a problempede is what we do.
And the problems just, produce problems into the next problem until it just keeps shooting down to the next.
That's all it is. And it just spirals endlessly away from us with all of its little tendrils, like leading it elsewhere. Because we don't want to deal with it. Because Steve and I have stuff to do. Most recently, it's been a semi-autobiographical time travel graphic novel musical. And we completed it. We are like moving on to our next mission, which is going to be a book called Deathless. And I'm sure we'll be talking about that like a lot in the future. Probably not today, because Steven and I are exhausted. Steven, I'm exhausted. I'm crying inside. I'm crying on the outside. I'm dying inside. I hope I'm not dying inside or on the outside, but I feel like I am, Steven.
And nobody knew it but me, but now everybody knows it, you know? So
it's true, dude. I was holding it in. I was gonna lie. I was gonna lie to the people. I'm awake, I promise. I have coffee.
Literally, yeah, this phone call literally started off with Anthony, like, I'm like, dude, I'm tired. He's like, dude, I'm tired too. Like, we had a busy day yesterday. It was my little one's fourth birthday party in Atlas, and Anthony joined. And
yeah. So I was invited to Steven's daughter's fourth birthday, and my son had to come with me. Unfortunately, the old ball and chain, as they call him. He's that weight around my neck. No, I'm kidding. He's amazing. But he had so much fun, dude. Like you guys, like Steven, they had the whole bounce house thing with the water slide. He would not do the water slide because there's a slight like dragon breath mist, like where you climb up to the slide, and he's just like, not for me. Like,
I'm not about that life, really.
Yeah. You want to breathe in my face with that weird, like, misty. There's enough dew in the air. We live in Florida. I have humidity on me, like, 24/7. My lungs are made of sponge and, like, not in a good way. Like, I am always wet, you know?
Just imagine, like, Atlas on this, like, epic quest, right? Like, he's tried to save this princess, and he gets to, like, this frothing waterfall, and he has to go into the cove to get the gem. He's like, I think I'm good on that.
It's like
I killed the dragon.
Yeah, like it had to be snakes. Like it had to be water. Like he's like, I killed the dragon. I bested the manticore. I got through the pit of despair, no problem. I just like walked across it like nothing. There is a whole cult devoted to my ability to walk across deadly pits. However, this light mist, not gonna do it.
It stings the eyes just enough. Not enough to hurt, but enough to be annoying.
Well, you could cover your eyes. Nope.
No. That's.
I'm afraid I can't do that. That's out of the. Then I can't see where I'm going. That's most of my issue here. No, he's amazing. Like he had so much fun just like jumping around and being goofy, like in the bounce house. That was the longest I've ever been responsible for him and not been watching him.
Dude, that's why bounce houses and slides are like, dude, like that's the first time Tina and I've ever purchased one or rented one for something. And like, I think it's just going to be the birthday party go-to because they're not that expensive.
I'm going to invest in one. Dude, they put one in the backyard.
That babysits for the kids, man. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's so perfect. I'm just going to put like ABCs on the wall inside. I'll like throw a tablet in there or something and be like, you're mom now. I'm not dating. I'm going to date a bounce house. Like that's.
If this was a Family Guy joke, it would go like a step too far, where she's like wondering why you guys haven't gone on a date. I'm
on a trampoline on a Saturday night, just like,
and it's looking over the fence.
I thought I was enough. You knew what this was.
It's exactly what. That's just the manatee ball joke. I mean, that's all it is. You just easily write a Family Guy joke.
It was a fun party, dude. However, I did say the word penis at the party. So okay.
A bunch of times,
by the way. Now, okay. Just so you know. I was caught off guard, okay? I thought I knew everyone at the party. Not that I know everyone at the party, but I know your relationship with everyone in the party. Like the Dunbar number like extends so much. I'm like, I know Eddie. I know I know the relationships that you have with people and Tina has with people, and I know there's one person there I didn't know. Yeah, a beautiful person there, like very pretty woman, like well dressed, very very clean, very welcoming and like just like happy and like affable person. I was just like, oh, she's really cool. This person looks me dead in my face as I walk past her. I was like, oh, she seems nice. Like didn't interact with her myself yet up until this point. I just saw her from a distance. I was like, she seems nice. You know, like you can tell. I don't know her, but she's probably one of Tina's work friends. I don't know. You know, as I'm walking, she stops me, like gets in front of me, and she goes, I know you. And my whole body is like
energy.
Dude, the whole energy in my whole body, I could like feel my face fall where I was like, no, you fucking don't. like I didn't say it, but like in my body, my whole, because like Steven, there's one, like I have a bad memory with some things. I have a really good memory when it comes to like names and faces, and when it, especially though, meeting people in general. Because like, I mean, I work customer service. I've been working customer service forever. Like I remember people's faces, like in their crafts, and like exactly what their projects are and what they're doing and how, like, to what stage it's on, and like all this nonsense I remember. So at the very least, I will always remember a face. Like I know that when
maybe
it's
not a name, but you got the face.
Maybe not a name. If like maybe I didn't personally get the name, or it was said quickly in passing, not a big deal. But like I'll always remember a face. Like I can pick people out, no problem. On this day, this person looked me in my face, in my soul holes, and she was like, I know you. And I was like, no, you like, nope, you don't. Like, I like, you don't know me is the thing. At no point did it occur to me, Stephen, that we have a podcast. At no point in my whole life, Stephen, I am not cut out for any level of fame. Okay? I was like, you don't know me, get out of my life. What are you talking about? Nope. Dude, anyway, so she was super sweet about it. She was like, no, the podcast, you're on the podcast. I've seen it. My son loves it. You know, it's great. I was like, oh, this has never happened to me before. Like I've never met a stranger.
You've never met someone under the guise of, I know you from the podcast. I haven't known you prior. I know you now. Yeah.
My reputation has never preceded me in a positive way that I know about, or negative. I just don't know, but I've never met anyone and then been like had them say, I know you through this thing. That's crazy. It was crazy to me. Anyway, so she's like, my son watches you. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. My immediate thoughts were like, oh, that's awesome. Your son is, that's nice. And then she was like, he's like 10 or something. And I was like, I've said the word, and so I out loud said, I've said the penis, the P word, the penis. I've said penis a few times. And like, so I did that. I did the thing where like I should have just ended it there. I should have been like, oh, I've said the P word a couple times, but I don't like in my head.
Well,
I'm like,
to be fair though, you have to like kind of specify what the P word is after you say the P
because
word, because there are far worse P words.
There are worse, or they're different and worse P words, like for sure. Dude, so I don't. So anyway, so I was like, and that's what went through my mind where I was like, maybe that's not a thing. I don't like. I'm at a party. I don't know. There are no kids around. I'm just gonna penis. I'm like juggling
penis,
juggling like verbal penises. And she's like, no. She's like, as long as you're using like the actual term, you know, like it's not offensive to anyone. And I was like, oh, I agree. You know, like that's the term I would use around my son. He's not 10. Come to find out, Steven. Come to find out, who was that lovely human person?
That is the co-pastor of my church.
Here I am, just meing it up, just being me, just being the dumbest version of me, just like, oh, by the way, I say penis sometimes. Your son watches my show. Have you seen the penis episode?
And I was like watching it unfold, like, oh man, he doesn't know what's like, but she's like really sweet and really awesome and really what's the word, like welcoming. Like, I mean, there was no awkward energy whatsoever. She, you know.
All of the awkward definitely came from me.
and I'm sure you relived it in your head over and over again for the rest of the party.
It was so funny because, and it's not that, you know, I want to be kind and respectful and always, you know, and I felt like I was on a human level. I don't think I said anything inappropriate or bad as an adult. But it is funny that you have that additional layer of like, oh, I don't want to offend you because I know that you have this relationship not only with God but with with Steven and Tina, you know, which is like, I don't want to. No one here should be on my bad side. If everyone involved here can just like me, I'll be happier. You know? But she was really cool, dude.
Oh yeah, for sure. The party was fun though, man. Like it was a good amount of people. It was a good amount of the right people, is how I guess I could put it. Like just fun people to be around, and
Steven, I like just I because it's on my mind. It's been on my mind ever since it happened. Ever since it happened, it's been on my mind. You had the bounce house. You had an inflatable bounce house. It had water-based bounce house. You left the house to go get chicken. You want to tell the chicken story real quick? Put a pin. Hang on. Put a pin in mine. Steven leaves to go get more chicken. Now, the reason he does this is pretty interesting. Steven,
so, like, in typical, like, cinematic comedy movie fashion, Tina, down to the wire, has everything, has the chicken ordered from Wally World and is going there to pick up the last few things and the hot chicken to bring to the party. It's 3:00 when party starts at 3. Tina's showing up right at 3 with the hot chicken, and she's got all these groceries around her arms. And me being the guy that puts the laundry into the washing machine, I decided to go back out and help her. And she's like, I got everything. Can you just get the tray of chicken? So I opened the passenger door, and they took this, the plastic container of popcorn chicken, like a big tray of it, and they must have placed it on like a salamander or like something like that, heated up the plastic, and it was all melted and crimping. And so I was like, ooh. So I went and grabbed it, and I have calloused paver hands. So I was like, I got this from the bottom. I'm like, ooh, that is hot. So I went to hold it from the sides. And as I turned on the garage floor, like, not that I would have salvaged it if it touched my freshly cleaned tile floor, but on the dusty dog-haired garage floor, this freaking tray of popcorn chicken folds into a perfect V and just shoots little nuggets of chicken everywhere over my garage floor. Like, literally mere moments before the party's about to start. The main course.
Okay. I show up a little bit early to the party. So I show up a little bit early. When I show up, like, one of our friend Josh is there, and he's like, bro, you know about the chicken? Like, the first thing, like, as I walk in, and I'm like, no. He's like, something happened, we got to go get more chicken. And I see Steven just like still livid about this chicken.
Oh, I was just going on. It's like, why you put it in that flimsy plastic? And like,
what, do you heat it with volcanoes? What is this? Like,
what is going on with this chicken?
Dude, it was like,
it was chaos.
So you were on fire, and you were just like, I gotta go get more chicken. I gotta freaking get more chicken. So you leave, and in your angry haste, you forgot to turn the water on.
I did.
You forgot to turn the water on. Now, my son doesn't like the spritz in his face, and I know this. So I'm like, I have to be the one to do this? Okay, fine. I'll put the laundry in the basket. And
you're about to have an Obi-Wan Anakin moment with your son. Like, I hate you.
So, dude, that wasn't a big deal. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go put the water on. So I walked to your side yard, and I've been thinking about this ever since. But
I think I know what you're going. I don't think we even talked about this, but I think I know exactly what you noticed.
Yeah. So Steven,
because it's been there for a while.
So I walk to the side. I finagle his gate open. I go to the side yard, and I walk toward the spigot, and I look, and there's a yellow Easter egg. There's a yellow.
I want to remind everybody that the date this Easter egg was noticed by Antoine Star Puncher, it was September 19th.
September 19th, 2021, the year of our Lord. The egg was marked not by any kind of numbers, but by the by just the decomposition factor of what was inside.
I don't even know what was inside.
Dude, neither do I, because I'm not an archaeologist. I opened up that egg thinking like maybe I'll get some super old candy and see what's in here. Like I had to look, so I peeked. Like I just barely ripped it open, and it was just like it's like a cloud of depressed dust. Just like I was never eaten. Like sir, just like
the ghost of Easter past.
Yep. The ghost of Easter past. Give me away from Halloween. No, dude. So naturally, I closed the egg and I put it back and I walked away.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a thing of legend now. Just like the stuff, you got to keep it where it was.
I went home, and then I very legally watched the movie Old. I went out to a theater near me, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this movie, this M. Night Shyamalan movie. I don't know if you know. Do you know what Old is? Have you seen the trailer for it or anything? Okay, there is a resort and within the area of the resort, there's an island, and these people go on the island and they get trapped there somehow, and they notice while they're there, they're aging ridiculously. So while they're there, like 1 hour of time is something like 7 years or so.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like they're aging rapidly, like very quickly. Which starts off very neat premise. Like you can do a lot with that. Like it's hard to explain that kind of thing, but you can do a lot with it. There was an ensemble cast of like a few children, you know, like 6-year-old kids, like our children. And then there's like an older person, of course, and then there are people who are just like middle-aged and people, you know, like just so you get the broad spectrum of everyone aging, you know, together. Steven, this movie was like, I wanted to watch it. I've been wanting to watch it. Not that I'm a huge M. Night Shyamalan fan, but like I'm always freaking curious. Like I always want to know.
You just never know when his next one's going to be the one.
I want to believe in him so bad, you know? And like I don't know, I've always been like an underdog fan, so like I'm just like people hate this movie, that must be good. Like I'm gonna like it. Steven, it wasn't good and I didn't like it and there was so much wrong with it and it freaked me out and it pissed me off so much. And like there's so much, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm gonna like, I won't talk about the movie at length yet. But like, because there's a lot that I want to talk about, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone, you know, just like, because it's not even streaming yet. So like once it starts streaming and people are like getting the reviews in and stuff, I'm gonna release a whole thing about the Old, because it's freaking me out. But what I did notice, Steven, my theory, Steven, I came up with a theory. M. Night Shyamalan he exists so the studios can point to him and say, that's why we don't let original ideas out. Like that's what
he's
they do.
Our
They're
scapegoat.
Like, yeah. Like I think they tell him. I bet they get in his ear and they're like, oh, M. Night, make it worse. Like there's like keep it going. Because if he makes crap and people go and they review it and they're like, oh man, that sure did stink just like that his other movies, the studios can go, that's why we don't let people make original stories and we only do reboots now. Sorry, we can trust the rebooted stuff because you like the originals, right? You're gonna eat this stuff. But like, that's it. He's a robot. I don't even know if M. Night Shyamalan exists. He's just like. Here's the thing, though. He is in like all of his movies. So I'm going to start rewatching M. Night Shyamalan movies and look for like eye blinks because I think he's like going to signal us to like for help.
He's like, please save me. They have me trapped.
I'm trying. They're making me make bad movies.
So like I rough draft and then I come up with the final script and the final script is beautiful, but then they go with the rough draft. It's crazy. I don't know why they do this to me.
You don't understand it. They keep.
I have none of the world building in it yet. It's just.
But yeah, dude. So that movie, like, there's so much in it that he does with like the aging that I was just like blew my mind. Because like when when you're 6 and then you age to be a teenager, the problem that the movie had or that I had with the movie was you still have the vernacular of a 6-year-old. You still have the mentality of a 6-year-old. You still have the only thing you don't have is perhaps a little bit of hormone differences, which like could maybe changes of aggression or like, you know, inability to, you know, express things that you're feeling. But you're still a 6-year-old. You know, like you're a big puppy. You're a big silly puppy. You know, like there's not much.
All they had to do was watch Tom Hanks's Big, and they would have gotten a good idea of how to behave.
Exactly. Dude, Tom Hanks is Big, or Jack. Both of those movies did like children in an adult body much better, you know, where like, because you need that innocence. You need the recognition of like, this isn't okay and I don't know what to do with it and I'm scared, you know, because like that's what we would feel. That's what a 6-year-old would feel. And at no point would any sexual thoughts or and even if there were any sort of sexual thoughts in that 6-year-old who is now let's just for the movie's sake say they were 18, but like an 18-year-old thoughts, like there's no way they would act on those things. It makes no sense. You know,
they would just be confused at what they were feeling.
Yeah, that's all. That's exactly what it is. My 6-year-old son has no idea what like how sex works.
And it's not like they're going to suddenly gain that knowledge just because
exactly.
they aged.
Like how many women out there have jokes about men not being able to find things in the dark or not being able to know what things are, or not being able to find things at all. I can't, like, I don't even like talk, like, I'm gonna talk about it something because it pisses me off so much, dude, because they take 2 6-year-olds and then they age them up and then they make them basically bone each other as 18-year-olds, which doesn't make it less creepy. So it still feels weird to talk about because
Yeah, like why would you even put that in your movie?
why? Why put that in your movie? Dude, I think, okay, so in their defense, which I don't like defending them, but there are ways to make that kind of story work. Like if the island, if the beach had such properties, because it's already magic. We're already accepting that it's magic. So if it was like you, whatever decision, like, and this is a different story, but like whatever decisions you make on the island, you start gaining memories by that, and you're jumping 7 years. So let's just say like you and I get in a fight, and then like, you know, like 7 years later, you have like a scar on your face, but now I have all these memories of us not being friends anymore, and us like separating, and us like not being there, you know. So it's just, but then 7 years later, we're both on the same island. Like crap, now we're forced to face all of the consequences of those previous actions. All of our memories are such like that they were related to the actions that we took. So like I can see if they were growing and gaining memories to accumulate, or accumulating memories with those years, that would be one thing. But there wasn't like a hypothetical life they were living. They were just aging. They were just getting old as
It's like they didn't think about the very structure of their own rules in their own magical kingdom.
So like, so, and I guess it was based on a graphic novel, and what I'm imagining is that the graphic novel is probably like, I probably like poetic and like trying to talk about, you know, the span of life and what it means to age, like the, you know, the finality of everything, you know, just there's a lot to talk about with mortality. Like, you know, they're just like fleeting existence and like, you know, just like living in the eternal now and everything. Like, but they didn't freaking do it. All they did was make me want to like shake M. Night Shyamalan for making me watch basically a 6-year-old adult. But just like it pissed me off. It pissed me off.
Just so unnecessary. Yeah.
Like, dude, I watched all 3 Human Centipede movies this last week. Old was worse than all 3 Human Centipede movies, and I was just like, this is not okay. I don't like this. But dude, so yeah, I think they only let him make movies so they can just keep forcing remakes down our throats.
What if their like final plan is to use his true final drafts to reboot his terrible movies into better? You need us. We genius. Reboot the crap into this gold. That's what we do. We're Rumpelstiltskin over here, okay? We take the straw of M. Night and we spin it into the gold that is.
Dude, I can't believe like there's not I mean, there might be, but there should be a film production company called Rumpelstiltskin who just takes like public domain stories and just like makes them better. Yeah,
that's our prestige worldwide. It's Rumpelstiltskin. That's what it is.
We spin straw in the gold. I love that. Speaking of reboots and remakes, dude, there's going to be a Lost Boys remake. It's in pre-production right now. Which
like casting, things like that.
Yeah. So well, they're casting. They already have a director. They already have a writer. I don't know, dude. I'm torn for a lot of reasons. I've never been someone who just craps on reboots. I playfully will, but in general, as far as like remakes are concerned, I'm okay with them. Like, I don't actually think they hurt the original. I think if anything, they just remind people that the original existed, and it's fine. It's tough with this one though, because it's hard to imagine that they're going to get it right. I'm trying to be optimistic, but
you got to figure like what like the Lost Boys actually brought to like vampires and like even cinema and everything. And there was this perfect storm of like this new way to like vamp out like this song that was just so unbelievably unnecessarily epic for this movie. Like there was just all these like different like the Coreys. There was just so many things that play in that movie that like it's really hard to recreate it without either A, trying too hard, or B, not trying enough. Like it's a very fine line.
Well, and I think what's really weird about the Lost Boys in particular is they really play with these weird tropes that just kind of don't exist anymore. Like we, as a kid, I guess I speak for myself, but like, as a kid, I watched David and the group of vampires, and I thought they were like cool badasses who were like tough. And like I could tell that they were bad guys, but they were cool, but they were bad. These days, there's not really that kind of counterculture. Like anything that is bad or anything is the worst version of bad. You know, like those guys today would be just like hateful pieces of garbage, probably. You know what I mean? Like, whereas like at the time, they like, it's just so weird because since certain things weren't accepted back then, they had to fight more against the system in like a rebellious way. Whereas now, like before it was basically looking to be like, leave me alone and let me be myself. And now it's more looking for acceptance, or at least that's how it feels generally. Where it's like people want to be accepted, and like as they should, like everyone, we want equality and acceptance. Whereas before it was like, no, I'm an outsider, just leave me alone if you don't want me. You know what I mean? So it was like, and that's how these subcultures, were born. And so when we see these characters and we're like, oh, I kind of identify with that, and he's on the outside of this society, and I want to be that too because I already feel that, and like he's the cooler version of that, and I want to be there. So that's why, like, Michael will go see David and like put, get his ear pierced and like buy a leather jacket and do, he wants to be on the outskirts and like do that cool stuff. What is that now? Like, what does that even look like now?
Yeah, who's like the character that like you look at to in school and it's like, oh, I want to be like him. My parents don't want me to be like him.
Yeah.
Like,
but anyway, I just think it's so weird because they're going to have to. They don't have to follow the same thing. It's just basically it has to be a group of younger vampires, and then people move into town. One of them becomes one of the group, and then the other one has to fight them. That's pretty much, that it's. Oh, are they going to do the Frog Brothers? I don't know. I have so many questions, dude. It's so early in the process. I guess all I feel is like, I just want to be cautiously optimistic and hope for the best right now. But
what if they go like mumble rappers? Like the whole squad of vampires have like face tattoos and stuff like that. Like, like always tired, and they're like cool, but like society's like, face tattoos are a little far, buddy. Yeah. And it's like, no, just leave me alone, man. I'm just doing my thing. And then like,
it's just a bunch of juggalos.
You're shooting Fago.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, a million juggalos can't be wrong, Michael.
He drinks the orange Fago.
He drinks the orange juice.
Michael, don't.
Michael, don't. What is it, blood? No, it's Fago.
It would be like Great Milenko though instead, right? Like,
oh my gosh. Let it go in your mind. Don't look now. This is all because of you.
I just want everyone to know that this is not a plan. This just happened. Like that's like that just happened. Like we just tethered the Lost Boys to ICP for absolutely no reason.
But I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna go see it in theaters. We should go see it in theaters together and talk about it on the podcast.
Absolutely. I mean, it deserves a shot. I mean, absolutely deserves a shot. And so much so that I will like go in there like as positive as I possibly can be to be as accepting of it as possible. But
you know what I kind of hope? I don't know if he's old enough yet, but I think they can play him old enough. But based on the way he looked in Bone Tomahawk, I feel like they could probably make it work. But Jameson Newlander should be in it, and he should either be the grandpa or at the very least the parent of the new Frog Brothers. Like I feel like he should work. Like I feel like he should work in the comic shop and be the one, like completely ignore them as they walk away. Like like they run off to fight vampires, and they're like, "Watch the shop, Dad," or whatever. And he's like,
that little reference,
yeah. And like I feel like. I don't know. I want Jameson Newlander in it. Of course, I want everyone in it. I saw that Corey Haim's sister is petition. I don't know if she's actively petitioning, but she's making a point to try to be the mom in it or a character.
Oh, cool.
So that would be cool. I don't know. I
think that's what you kind of have to, in my opinion. I think you kind of have to include. It needs to be like a present to the fans. Like it needs. I don't know. I don't think you can really there's no reason to rebrand the Lost Boys for a new generation. It really is just it's a gift to people who love the Lost Boys. That's really what it's for. You can make. I mean, Twilight already did what they're trying to do. If that's what they're trying to do. Make a vampire movie that society wants now. But
right. It's so interesting, dude. Oh, the writer of it is also writing Static Shock, which is really cool. I didn't even know they were making a Static Shock movie. That's going to be really cool.
I used to watch the show all the time. I never read the comic, but I've always watched the show.
I used to watch that show constant. I love that show. And and I watched the whole documentary on Milestone Comics on Amazon. I think it's still on there. It's like the history of comics, and there's a whole episode. It's like 40 minutes or so on Milestone Comics. It's awesome. It's like I never even knew about any of their history, but it's like if you don't know the history of like Image Comics and versus the Marvel and DC and like how they split off and everything, that's also really fascinating. So it's like that and the Milestone story would like just I don't know. I guess I'm just fascinated with like independent comics or comic artists and writers just like deciding to make things on their own and just like doing it and then just watching what it becomes, which is what we're doing, Steven. We're trying our best. I don't know, dude. Yeah, we are at the end of this project. We didn't even talk about what we were going to do this week. We recorded a lot this week, right?
We did record a lot, and then like I think the lullabies, I just got to mix down the voice a little more. I think.
Yeah.
Possibly re-record it in the future if we decide to go that route. But I can probably just mix it down. But musically speaking, we have the lullaby done, and then we also have like this little in-between track that I came up with for like, almost like an overture or like a reprise for later in the album. So. Yeah, and then you did lay down the piano, the keys, and the vocals for tracks 2 and 3. So
yeah, dude, that's a lot.
It's I mean, really, I think there's only 4 songs, right? Is there 4, maybe 5?
5
or 6?
5. Yeah, it's gonna be 6 total. It's gonna be 6 total. But I still haven't written the last song because I've had a week. No,
no, dude, it's always a week because like this past weekend it was Chasey's birthday, and then this coming Friday is Coheed and Cambria and the Used and Tina's birthday. So that's this weekend's not. I'm not saying shot, but it's basically like we're not going to be very productive this weekend on any of our projects. So.
I still like I'm definitely gonna finish writing the lyrics to the last song this week. That's definitely my plan. But yeah, I don't know, like I have a couple pieces of dialogue that like I want to fix or I don't really love. And the one thing that like has been on my mind lately is Steven, I always get really insecure about this because I never want to feel like I'm insulting an audience or like having to hold the audience's hand or anything or like tell people what's happening, right? Especially if I feel like you can piece things together, like if it's possible, and not like you don't have to be Batman to figure it out, but it's just like it's possible to piece together this this idea. I feel like it feels weird to just say it explicitly, but at no point in the book do I have the character say I'm traveling back through the songs or anything. Like I don't, and I was just like, do I have to? I don't think so, because we watch him get sucked back, but like, do I have to have the character be like, oh my gosh, I'm getting sucked back? Like, do I have to have that moment?
Maybe just, let me see.
Because I can do it in one of the, I can do it in the first tube page.
Yes, maybe the first tube page should be the explanation of what's happening, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking, like him saying, because like what I'm thinking is I'm gonna have him basically saying that he's seeing all these memories, like what the hell's going on? Am I flying through the, like blah blah blah, like oh my gosh, just saying like these are my memories. So you get the idea. I think the idea is clear enough, and anyone who's gonna read the book will get it, especially since he's getting sucked into the record player and thrown back into obvious moments and is like, But I do think it would be a little bit strengthened for some people, like to reinforce that. So I think I'm going to do that and just add a little bit there.
Maybe in that first, because the first one kind of sets the groundwork, and the first one is the proposal. Maybe even when he gets sucked back in and spat back out, like instead of just saying like right there, like where he says crap. Yeah, maybe you can specify that he has to. I'm repeating this until I do it the right way, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just something so they get the idea, then that'll apply for the rest of the book. Then they'll understand that he basically lives in a Groundhog Day fashion, and
for
he has
sure,
to live
dude.
this memory.
Yeah, because I was reading it and I was thinking about it, and I was because when you are so close to something, it's like of course I know what the story is. I have to make sure other people are going to be able to recognize or acknowledge what the actual narrative is. But I don't know. Otherwise, I think it's pretty good. It's like I think the dialogue could have been a little smaller, but I was literally going by everything I was reading. Like everyone was saying the same size, and I just don't think that it's necessarily as standard as people want to believe, because
we had that when we were talking about it before. We're like, I had for some reason settled on 6.36.
Yeah,
font.
Dude, it was pissing me off though, because I mean, like, it looks good. It's just a little big, and I feel like we could have gotten away with, like, we'd have more space on the page, I don't know. How do you think it looks though? Do you think it's mostly good?
For sure. I mean, I see what you're saying about the narration boxes, but once again, it doesn't even matter. Yeah. All the comic bubbles look fine.
Yeah.
And then and the narration boxes almost look stylistic, like it's a notepad or it's something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you have to change that.
No,
I don't think you have to change that at all.
I was gonna say, and honestly, dude, this is our first book, and like,
Mm-hmm.
like as much as I've said before, I want to put our best foot forward, but like right now, that was our best foot. We're doing our best. We're doing what we can, and then we learn. So our next book, I'm gonna make the dialogue boxes a little bit smaller. I'm gonna make all of the fonts a little smaller. We'll probably do a couple of quick like printouts to test things early on, just so we understand exactly what our sizes are. But I think like this book is a really good start for us, and I think Deathless is going to be amazing. But,
I'm excited for Deathless, especially because it's going to be digital. So,
oh yeah, dude,
yeah,
it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty good on Procreate. So,
oh yeah. All right, dude. So what are you going to do this week? We're going to go see Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah, which is exciting. I guess do my best to get stuff done before Coheed because I don't think I'm gonna have much time the weekend coming off of that to do anything.
Yeah, so you're gonna
Tina's birthday's Friday, so when we get back from Jacksonville, it's gonna be probably Tina weekend. So,
right.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to fill out some of the track 2 and 3 with some other instrumentation.
Cool, dude, that would be awesome. I can't wait to hear those. I'm definitely going to finish. I'm good. The very last song. So I'm definitely gonna finish the 6th song, the final song. As far as writing goes, I'll try to record it and send it to you. I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually record it. We'll see. I'm definitely gonna finish writing that, and I'm going to go fix all of the dialogue stuff that we just talked about because I should have time. I have off Wednesday, which is like one of my favorite days. It's the day this drops. You're watching this right now. Thank you so much, everyone. But I do the Weird Movie Wednesdays at night. You can always visit me on Twitter to find out more about that. But like, dude, Atlas is going to go to school, and I'm going to have that like 6 hours of time to like write stuff and do dialogue and do all that stuff. Like whenever I have a day off and he's in school, I just love getting so much done. It's the best. It's like it's like a whole new world of time for me.
Dude, I wish I had that, man. Like I don't have that. I mean, and Tina has that, but she's such a busy wife. She does so much. But like, I work Monday through Friday during the day. So like, I'm with the kids 100% of the time. Whenever when you're not, I'm with them. Yeah. I'm with them.
Oh yeah, dude, it's crazy. And I mean, without a Tina, my house behind there, this is a facade. This is green screen. This is no. I've but like that side of the camera, I'm like the junkyard lady from Labyrinth. There's so much going on over there. I need to clean it, and I'll get to it. And it's not bad. I never let it get like so bad that it's like unmanageable or like disgusting or anything. But it's just like I have like boxes from crafts and like just papers that I printed for us, and like my keyboards thrown a sun. It's crazy. It's annoying.
Dude, I literally foot shoveled a bunch of kids stuff out of the camera because they have already they just come in here and they just do what they do.
That's awesome. But yeah, we're doing our best. We have issues, but thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're only listening on one of the various podcast apps, please go on youtube.com/wehaveissues podcast and subscribe to our channel. It really does help us out. We're about halfway to being able to monetize, which means we're actually going to be able to make some money on this podcast, which would be super cool. Not that we have to, but it would be super cool, right?
Even $1 a month would be epic. Just to say that we're actually making money off of it. Yeah,
it's so cool. I mean, we're making a very minimal amount from Patreon subscribers, thankfully. All of that money goes to Zoom, and it goes to Zoom and keeping the podcast up mostly, and then my nonsense, Steve.
His excellent nonsense.
But thank you all. We really do appreciate everyone who takes a second to watch this or share it or like it. Thank you. You're all amazing. You're incredible, and we're glad you're here. We love you. So, Steven, I love you. You're the best. Thank you for doing this.
I love you too, Anthony. Of course. 55 episodes, everybody.
We'll see you next week, 56. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. All right, I think we're good. Will you send me, since you're already in that room, after we close, will you just take a picture with your camera of you doing like for thumbnail purposes?
Oh yeah, I can actually take a picture with my phone if you want.
But yeah, dude, I was just thinking we should start doing that.
Nice. It's not good. I'll get you a good picture though. This is gonna be the end of the video clip.